class, and welcome to the lecture overview of the course. This lecture is a brief lecture that will help you understand the course policies and requirements and take you through the syllabus and a little bit about the course site. Listen to this lecture before trying to do the course quiz. Everything I'm going to be showing you is in the course syllabus or on the course site. No need to open those, but just for future reference, I'm just going to take you through so you can explore it on your own later. This is the beginning of the course syllabus, and at the top you'll notice there's my name, my office number, Mercy Hall, room 25G, and the times of my office hours. There's a virtual link that you can click on in the syllabus as well as on the course site. My office hours are from 10 a.m. to noon on Tuesdays and 3:30 to 5:30 on Thursdays. No need to make an appointment, just come and drop in. If you'd like to meet in person, just send me an email and we'll arrange a time. And there's my phone number and my Mercy email address. You can read a little bit about the course description and then the mission statement. There's our statement of academic integrity that basically says don't cheat or plagiarize. And then a whole list of academic and student support services that are here and available to use as Mercy students. There's our PAC advisement program, a tutoring and academic support program that you can take advantage of if you're struggling, libraries, student wellness center, some counseling services, Office of Accessibility. If you have a documented accommodation, it's important to go through them and send me the form saying what your accommodation is. This is an online asynchronous course, and so that means everything is done online. If you run into any technical difficulties, then you should contact the Mercy Online Help Desk. A lot of students send me emails, and I'm not a computer expert per se, but the fastest way to get help is by calling 914-674-7526. Here's a statement about our field experiences. There is a fieldwork experience component in the class, and that is 10 hours. I'll be going into that a little bit later. Excuse me. If you've taken an education course before, you know about Chalk and Wire, or you might hear it called Anthology. Chalk and Wire is our electronic portfolio system that we've set up for you, so you'll be submitting your field work to Chalk and Wire, and you'll be documenting your fieldwork log, and also for this course, completing what's called a disposition survey. So more about that later. Course policies are carefully laid out. There is a late policy. Most assignments in the course may be submitted up to a week late with a 10% point penalty. So let's say you've had a rough week and you need a little extra time to get an assignment in. You don't have to email me. Just go ahead and submit it up to a week late. And if you were going to get 100, that means you've got a 90, 10% off. After December 16th, 2025, no late work will be accepted because that's the end of the semester for our course. There are a couple of exceptions to that late policy. Discussion posts are not accepted late. And the reason for this is that discussion posts in this course serve as our classroom discussion. So imagine coming in late to a class and the class has gotten up and left, gone to another room, and you're sitting there discussing to an empty room. That's what posting late is like. You're not really talking to your colleagues anymore. So those are not accepted late. There are a couple of end of semester assignments that are not accepted late as well. When you submit papers, it must be in Microsoft Word format. please do not submit them as a PDF, or I will return them and ask them that they be submitted in Microsoft Word. There are a couple reasons for this. First of all, Microsoft Word is the field standard, so when you go out, you'll be expected to know how to do Microsoft Word. If you're using Google Documents, there's a way to convert that to Microsoft Word, so that's all over the internet how to do that, but don't submit a PDF. I like to give feedback, and I give a lot of feedback using the comments in Microsoft Word. Also, submit your papers using APA format, which is the standard for education. I've put a link there. The Purdue OWL website really gives good feedback on how to do APA. Your paper should be double spaced if you're like your field work paper, and in APA format. Also, if you're doing assignment revision, you can revise many of your assignments for up to a week after it's graded. A lot of students like this policy because it means that they're able to learn more, and they're able to improve their grade. The way you resubmit assignments is simply to download the paper I grade and send back to you, and don't delete anything. Don't delete my grade, don't delete my comments, but make your changes using a different font color or highlight them in some way so I'll know that your paper has been changed. Save that paper and submit it to the same link, and I will rescore it. That's a one-time revision. You can't keep revising and revising, but you can revise most papers in the course for up to a week after it's graded. And it'll say on the top of the paper when your deadline is by. A couple of exceptions to that. One is the fieldwork paper, because it's submitted so late in the course, cannot be revised. You can look through the student learning outcomes. These are the things you're expected to be able to do and know by the end of the course. Our required textbook is Macmillan, Classroom Assessments, Principles and Practices for Effective Standards-Based Education, 7th edition, please. And if you go into the Getting Started folder, you'll see a link for the textbook if you want to order it from Amazon. You don't need to get any of the additional materials, labs, or anything like that. Just get the textbook. You can get an e-version or you can get a paperback version. The grading in this course is based on a number of assignments. Each week you'll have a module to complete worth 2 points each, and that's so 15 times 2 is 30. 30 out of 100, or 30% of your grade, will be from assignments in those modules. You have a formative assessment assignment that's worth 15 points, or 15% of your grade, a quiz project worth 15 points, or 15%, a performance assessment project worth 15 points, or 15%, and finally a fieldwork paper with 25%, 25 course points, for a total of 100 points. Finally, you do have an extra credit vocabulary assignment that's worth up to 2 extra credit points on your overall grade. From time to time, I will offer small amounts of extra credit. For example, I do co-advise the Education Club with Dr. Eileen Rothschild, and usually a couple of times during the semester, I'll offer you some extra credits for attending those events. And those announcements will come out during the semester. Here's the grading scale, so you can look and see all the time on the course site and your grade book what your current grade is and see what that equates to in terms of a letter grade. So if you've got an 84, you've got a B. Let's go through the assignments. I'm going to go through the major assignments at another time, but I just want to briefly skim through so you get a sense of what the assignments are in the course. As I said before, each week on Tuesday night, you'll have a set of module assignments due. You'll work through a module. Usually there's a reading, usually there's a lecture, and then a couple of activities or discussion boards that lead to an assignment, one or two assignments. And so these are worth 2 points each week for 30% of your grade. You might be asked to watch a video, listen to a lecture, complete a short assignment. I'm excited because this semester I've added a couple of discussions with AI characters, and so that should be fun, interesting. And again, this counts for 2% each week for 30% of your grade overall. If there is a discussion board assigned, you'll be expected to do a response to questions, and then you'll be expected to react to two colleagues' posts in a meaningful way. Here's the rubric that I use to grade discussion boards. Every time you receive a discussion board grade, you'll see a rubric attached with each one of these rows filled out. So you have to have a good original post that draws on evidence, for example, in your textbook or your own experiences. You have to react in a meaningful way to two colleagues. So this means you can't just say good job. You have to extend the conversation somehow. So how do you do that? Well, you might draw on your own experiences and comment on what they've said. You might ask questions. You might point out something from the lecture or the readings, but in some way you have to make it more meaningful than just agreeing with them. And then obviously when we want to communicate professionally, so part of your grade is professional communication. Is your post written well? Is it spelled well? Are there grammatical errors or no? Beyond the module assignments, there are a number of major assignments in the course. The first is your formative assessment assignment, where you'll be given some student data and asked to analyze it, looking for patterns so you can tell which students are learning, which students are not learning, and what your class is doing overall. That's worth 15% of your grade, and it's due October 21st. And more information will be provided in class. Another major assignment is called your quiz project. This is worth 15% of your grade and it's due November 11th. You're going to create a quiz that you can give to a second grade level or higher, and there'll be a lot more information provided on that. You will see the grading scale here at the bottom, and you can see the full grading scale in the syllabus. This is just the first couple of rows. Your performance assessment project is due November 25th. For this, you'll be asked to design a student rubric and a teacher rubric, which is for a second grade level or higher. And there'll be more information provided in class. You can see the beginnings of the rubric for grading that assignment at the bottom of this screen. Then your field work is worth 25%. And you have to turn in an observation plan by October 14th. So start thinking about where you're going to do your field work. You need to do your field work at a place that matches your certification area. So if you are pursuing a science, adolescent science, certification, you should plan to do your field work in a biology or a physics high school classroom or even a middle school science classroom. If you're pursuing a language arts elementary, then you should plan to do your observation viewing language arts lessons in K-5 or K-6. So we'll talk more about that later. It has to be 10 hours, but 4 of those hours are given over to planning. And so it's really only 6 hours of observation. 4 hours are giving over to planning and writing the paper. So 6 hours of observation. This is that vocabulary project that I mentioned. Each week, if you look in your syllabus and also on the README file that I'm going to go over, there's a list of vocabulary. If you go into the folder for this that I'll show you in a bit, there's a template where you simply define the vocabulary word, use it correctly in the sentence, and at the last week of class, turn all the vocabulary words in to the link in that folder, and you can earn up to 2% extra credit on your grade. Near the end of the syllabus, you'll see the course timetable. This is a really important part of the syllabus because it tells you what we're doing each week. So for example, here in week 1, it's due on September 9th. We're talking about the introduction to the course and to assessment. Here's our vocabulary. It even tells you what page the vocabulary is on. And it tells you any readings to do and which learning module is due. So this week you need to read your textbook, Macmillan Chapter 1, and do Learning Module 1. Now some of you might say, I don't have Macmillan Chapter 1 yet. I don't have my textbook. This week and this week only, I've uploaded the chapter in the module for you. So for this week, make sure you've completed all the activities in the README file from week 1. You should refer to the checklist at the bottom of the file, and it's due Tuesday, September 9th. Let's switch our attention for a moment and go to the course site. So when you log into the course site, you'll see something that looks like this. You probably won't see this closed at the top right because this video was done before the course was open, but that's okay. If you look under course faculty, you'll see my name, and if you click on the little mail icon, you can send me an email. You've already found the Start Here Welcome and Course Overview folder because you're in it. That's where this video is. But you'll see some other important information there that you should go through. It's got my contact and office hours information. It's got this video, the course syllabus, textbook information, and other types of information that are important to understand about the course. Under major assignments, this is where those 4 major assignments are that I talked about: the formative assessment, the quiz, the performance assessment, and the fieldwork, as well as the vocabulary. So don't look to find the links or information for those in the content modules week to week. They're in the major assignments folder. This is a folder called Learning Standards that we'll use for various projects throughout the course. This contains learning standards, Common Core for ELA, for math. It contains some New York State standards, some early learning standards, and for standards for students with disabilities. So from time to time, you're going to be asked to pick a standard. This is the folder you will go to. This is the start of a really important set of folders, the unit folders. This is where your course module information is. So you'll notice Unit 1, it always has the topic, Introduction to the Course and to Assessment, and it has when everything is due. So Unit 1 is due September 9th. The first file you will always see in Unit 1 is the README file, which I'll show you in a minute. The README file contains all the instructions for the module. And then you'll often see a video where I'm introducing myself, and you're also going to see all the links and resources that you need to complete the activities in the learning module. So it's very easy, it's very sequential, and but the README file is the key to understanding if you've done everything. Let's take a look at that README file and understand why it's so important. So this is the README file from Learning Module 1. It always tells you what week you're on and when it's due. It gives you a topic, so Introduction to the Course and Assessment, and it always gives you the learning objectives for the week. So after this week, you should have introduced yourself, could correctly identify basic features of the course, and distinguished between some basic forms of assessment. Those are the things you want to know. The next, you'll see the vocabulary. So not only is the vocabulary for the week listed in the syllabus, it's listed in each README file. And then step by step, what you need to do to complete the module. So activity 1, get to know the instructor and the course, and this is worth 25% of the module. Its purpose is to understand course assignments and policies. You'll always see the purpose of the activity because learning is only meaningful when students understand why it's necessary to do this. So step by step, click on the folder, you'll see the sections, read through the material, click on the Dr. Age welcome video, that's what we're on now, and then view the About Course lecture. That's what we're on now, and then take the course quiz, etc. You'll go all the way through each step of the README file. When you come to the end of the README file, you'll find a list called Double Check. At the end, you'll just want to glance through this list to make sure you've done everything. So in this one, did you do the welcome start here? Did you watch the video? Did you watch the About the Course lecture, take the course quiz, post an introductory message, read Chapter 1, viewed the lecture Introduction to Assessment, and done the types of assessment assignment? So if you can say, yes, I did all these, then you've completed the module. And that's it. It's a very logical, structured course. I hope you enjoy it, but if you do have any questions, email me at nhalbrenner@mercy.edu or contact me through the course message system. Everybody have a great week, and I hope we're off to a good start.